How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting. Welcome back to Trauma. I got caught up in all the craziness with my computer, like, trying to die on me. I forgot where we were. Now I've loaded it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. It's just got so crazy. But yeah, so we fought off the mask guys. It was not nearly as easy as it was last time, because I didn't get my super cheap, like, insta-kills. Still pretty solid fight. Nice and good. A little meaty, a little beefy, but we managed to pull through. And unfortunately, they got away with the professor, so now we gotta go back and report. Also gotta try and give that book back, and then I think we'll be done here? I don't know, like, all the answers we were hoping for are left with the professor, even if we got any answers, so the next step is gonna be to track him down. And, like, again, I was kind of theorizing it, like, it is odd that they just happen to have Royal Guard outfits on hand, right? Like, that's the weirdest part of this all to me, is like, sure, you can try and pretend to be a certain thing. We even saw that at the very beginning. They established in the early part of the game that you can put on a uniform and most people kind of just take it in stride, especially if you wear it confidently. But Royal Guard outfits are things that you shouldn't be able to get your hands on very easily, right? So, what does that mean? Does that mean that they are part of the actual, like, royal infrastructure? And if they are they traitors? Or are they technically working for the ruler right now? We don't know. It could be anything, really. I just find it all real suspect, so, yeah. Anyway, we're just gonna jump in and kind of enjoy the story for a little while and kind of see what direction it takes us. I have a feeling we're gonna go up to the military base for at least a little bit, because, that's just a place we haven't visited yet, but then again, maybe it's not really a place we're meant to see this in the game, but, oh well. Let's get back to town and see if we can get out of here safe and sound. Yeah. Hey, Agate, what do you got? What's wrong? It's nothing. Just felt a little dizzy for a sec. Oh crap, he got shot with that weird bullet. Huh. Maybe from when you protected me earlier? That's right. You did get shot, but then I thought you blocked it. It's just a scratch, no big deal. But it's my fault. Listen, I get worse injuries than this from shaving. Now quit fussing. Let's get back to Zeiss. Okay. Yeah. No, they made a blatant comment earlier. That's not good. So he could be in trouble. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I have noticed the towers, they each reflect one of the types of orbments you can have. Like this was the fire. Last one we were at was the water. First one we went to was earth. So like there's definitely something to that. Like, we have little orbs that do manipulate the various elements, so these towers seem to reflect the various elements. So one thing that made me wonder, well, maybe it wasn't Earth. I'm pretty sure it was Earth, at least it felt like it. But I also was wondering, like, what about time? Like, we have, like, time orbs, so, like, are the towers, if they could be, like, activated, like, they're big dang it. They're big pillars, like they have a big, like, what looks like almost like a massive orbment, like what our orb pocket watches are. Like, imagine that, but on the scale of like a nation. And so you get a gigantic orb, like orbment, like a crystal that's just so big it literally can power an entire tower. What does that even do? Can that be what ties into like a power system for an entire infrastructure of an entire empire? Or could it be keys to some kind of super weapon? Again, I don't know. Oh, I don't know you. Oh, it's this guy again. Huh? We met you on the way back from Elmo. Aha! I appreciate you helping me on the way. I must say, he's more than happy to that, so we meet again on this road. You might be right. By the way, did you make it to the hot springs in Elmo, sir? Indeed I did, but please, there's no need to be so formal. Oh, but it does seem to be my first meeting with your friend there. Ah, he seems a bit green around the edges. Is he well? Huh? Yeah, he's like, barely holding it together. Oh, what's with your face? Agate? Shut it. I said I'm fine. Oh. What's wrong with him? One sec. Joshua thumbed Agate's eyelids back. Not good. His pupils are starting to dilate. I think there may have been something on that bullet. You mean he's been poisoned? That appears to be the case. Pupil dilation could be an indicator of some kind of botanical neurotoxin. You're probably right. I can't be absolutely sure, but I think his life may be at risk if we don't get into some help. No. Enough talk! Right, well, we have to get him to a doctor. Tita, is everyone nearby? The Central Factory. There's a clinic on the 4th floor. Then please show me the way there. I will carry this young man. Are you sure? My body's well suited to this kind of task. Let me handle the heavy lifting. And besides, we appear to be in the same business. We are? You mean, I've yet to introduce myself. I am Zin Vathek of the Kalavard Republic Guild. I am pleased to meet you, Bracers of Liberl. So he's part of the Bracer branch down there. First things first, we have to perform first aid. It looks to be some unique form of neurotoxin. My usual array of antidotes won't work on something like this. What's going to happen to him? Well, he's a fighter, so I think he'll manage to hold out. But in all likelihood, the longer he stays in the coma, the greater the risk of death. Huh. No! Joshua! Sorry I took so long. I had to report to Kilika. She passed on the info to the military, so if anything comes up, we should find out soon. Okay, thank you. Hey, where'd Zin go? Apparently, he and Kilika know each other. They had a lot to discuss. I see. Well, they are both Easterners. So, how's he doing? Not so well then. Unfortunately, I'm not so well versed in poisons that can counteract the effects without knowing the ingredients. But Father Vixen might be able to help. Huh? Father Vixen? He's a priest in Zeiss. He built up a substantial knowledge of medicines by tapping into Septium Church's millennium-old archives. He's particularly learned in pharmacology. He may be able to devise some form of remedy to counteract the poison's effects. Ah, I get it. The priest in Rollins was really good with that stuff too. It's certainly worth asking about. It's late, but I'll see if I can get to the church, and if going to the church will net us anything. Okay. Yeah, okay, hang on. I gotta get my translation book, aka picture, aka cheat code. Where is it? Oh, meow is so we meet again, fleshy thing. Okay, we do meet again. Give me a tomato. I think it was over this way. Yeah, here we go. Cheetah, what brings you here at this time of night? Oh, Father, please help save Agate. What do you mean? Tita, calm down a second. Father, you see, Joshua explained Agate's poisoning and the details of the poison itself. I see. This is troubling. Is there anything you can do? Thankfully, we do have a treatment here at the church for virulent nerve toxins. It doesn't nullify the poison, but it does boost the patient's immune system so that he has a better fight off the effects on his own. Sister Kira, you're familiar with the medicine I refer? I am, but the ingredients... You're out of ingredients? What do you need, and what can we do to get it? Zamira moss is what we've been calling it. It's a species of bioluminescent plant. It should grow deep in the luminescent caves inside the Chaldea tunnels. Oh, that's that place in the cave that I went to that like had a big ending and nothing was there. That's got to be where it is. Well, I've sent braces to collect it in the past. The Chaldea tunnel. When we went through there, when we came here to Zeiss. That should be a snap. Then let's go find some of the Zamira moss. What? You two? Yes, Father. My two friends here are racers. I see. Well, that makes things easier. At any rate, go back to the guild and tell the staff before going to the Limestone Cave. There might be some record from earlier collection trips. It's the Cave of Demon Penguins. Let's go. Demon Penguins, here we come. But first, we gotta go to the, bracers. God, he's so big. Ah, you're back. Zin, I didn't know you were still here. Thanks for carrying Agate earlier. We were in your debt. Ha ha! Think nothing of it. Always glad to help a friend. So, how's Agate's condition? Well, Joshua relayed what they knew about Agate's current condition and about the Zemuria moss. He's in greater danger than I imagined. If you need Zemuria moss, one moment while I check the information the church supplied. Ah, here we are. I can evidently be found in the northwest area of the Chaldean limestone cave at the shore of an underground lake. Northwest limestone cave, underground lake. Got it. You might as well put it in the notebook. I've heard it said the monsters in that place are quite strong. The last time the guild dispatched bracers to gather moss, a team of 4 veterans was sent. 4 veterans? Gathering of moss isn't going to be an easy task then. In that case. As such, I suggest you take this gentleman with you. Hey, can I please finish what I was going to say? Oh, do you not wish to accompany them? No, I didn't say that. Oh, never mind. You're just as frustrating to deal with as ever. You flatter me. Well, it wasn't intended as flattery. Are you going to come with us then? Yes, seems that'll be the path that destiny's indicated. I'm setting off with the Grand Soul tomorrow, but I can certainly accompany you until then. That's plenty of time, thank you. We appreciate it. Excuse me? I don't suppose I could come? Huh? I know sometimes I slow you down, but Agate's hurt because he protected me. I feel like I've got to do something to help. Tita. Hey, Joshua, what do you say? Can we take her with us, please? Do I have a choice? Okay, Tita. Do you promise to let us take the lead and not do anything rash? I promise. And that's enough for me. Do you mind, Zin? Yeah, it's fine by me. Good to have you with us, little one. Thank you, sir. Well, that settles it then. Let's get to the limestone cave. First, we have to take the Chaldea tunnel from the central factory basement. Yes. But first, nope. Oh, here. Okay. I want to try and get that book back. I'm guessing, you know what? Actually, before we go, I'm going to go get some rest. No, wait. I can do that for free in the cave. Okay. We're going to go do that in the cave. I'm going to try to find Constance one last time before we set off, because, like, I want to finish that mission before it, like, cancels on me. Oh, also, might as well see if I can unlock any slots for Zin. Nope, it's already open. Okay. Speaking of which, actually, now that he's here, let's get right to getting him equipped. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, so little bit of a shakeup here. Also, I took in something very important someone was able to share in comments last time when I posted a video, because I was asking questions like, why can I sometimes not stack up colors like in the right bands? Like I understand that bands is the same color, stack in kind of build upon each other. But there were sometimes gems I couldn't stack, and that's because you can only have one like status implier orb, like sleep, in your whole kit. So like with sleep in here, I can't put any other status impairment ones, and a lot of the ones that I have for the various colors are status impairment based, and so that was a big problem. So here's what I got going so far after just a bunch of testing. Estelle always ends up just casting all her arrow stuff, so I have her focused on that. I also gave her like information, eagle eye. I decided to get information hit because I could get this chaos brand, and I just kind of all put together very well. Joshua is going to be our water caster, so he's got a lot of the healing, and he can also cast some water attacks. I don't know why he got earth and stone, but I'll take it. And then he's got his normal like time-based attacks. Tita is interesting. I've got her on fire because I was able to give her like 2 paired units of fire, so I can get this napalm breath. Other than that, it's just a source of fire. And then I gave her just stuff to make it so it's easier for her to cast things. And then Zin, he's gonna be our stone and water kind of as a backup, just because it's always good to have an extra set of heals going on, even though he's only got the basic heals. I'm probably going to use him mostly for defense, and I'm curious to see what his attack's going to be. When we go to his equipment, he's got knuckles, so he's like a monk, which makes a lot of sense, especially with his getup. So I'm also going to pop on a few talismans just so we can try and prevent things from becoming issues. So just jump those on, and then yeah, we're just going to kind of do our best to kind of get stuff done. So 4 of us heading into the caves. I'm going to try and contact the librarian one last time. Otherwise, you'll join me in the caves. All right, so here we are. A little bit of running around. I was hoping to do free healing further down the cave, but Tita stops you, so I had to go all the way back into town. But we are geared up, ready to go. Yeah. So, I recall correctly, right? When we first faced this Death Penguin cave, it was with Estelle and Joshua, and it was like 2 levels ago. So, the game expected me not to really deal with this area until I had a party of 4, 2 levels higher than I was when I actually made my way through the whole cave. Granted, I did avoid a lot of fights, but the fact that I actually managed to do it is pretty impressive. Like, mostly dumb luck, but yeah. So let's go in and kick some penguin butt. So, the Chaldean limestone cave. Kind of mysterious, don't you think? The monsters I sent inside are ridiculously strong, though. They ain't going down without some serious punishment. Sweetie, if you're scared, maybe you should just go home. You don't have to prove anything. I'm okay. It's scary, but I'll be alright. Besides, we have to get the Zemurian moss, right? Right. So, shall we head out? So, it grows at the edge of some underground lake? Apparently so, yes. And that lake is supposed to be in the northwest part of this cave. We should be extra careful as we make our way through. Don't want to lose our bearings, after all. Which we will, because this cave is a nightmare. And I got lost when I came through last. Okay, so we're going to fight the first penguin I come across, just to kind of get a feel for our team. Otherwise, I'm not going to pick too many fights. Alright, blue penguin boy. Okay, pretty solid. I forgot, what are the blue ones? They are skilled at water-based arts. Okay. Almost dead. Good job, Tita. Alright, let's see what you got. Just punch him. Ah, he petrified it too.
They messed with the wrong guy.
Got a mute. Already had one, but alright. Okay. Northwest. That doesn't help. That's gonna be pointing north. The northwest would be this way. I feel like that's a trick though. Nope, don't need to fight the babies. Oh, did we get it? Did we get there? Yes! I remembered. Almost no issues getting here. Getting back. Wow! It's so pretty. Huh, that's a nice view. Uh-huh, and in a cave no less. Looks like we found the cave lake. The Zemurian moss should grow somewhere around here. Okay, let's get cracking. Yeah, I found here before and it was just meaningless. Oh, it's gotta be that right there. Hey, look at that. Maybe that glowing stuff's the Zemurian moss? I wasn't expecting the moss to be so pretty either. Why does it glow? Probably because it has a lot of components that make up septium. Come on, let's gather it up so we can return it to Zeiss. Harvest Zemurian moss. Looks like we're all set. Well, let's head back to town, deliver it to the priest. Okay. Hold up. Huh? On your guard. Here it comes. Big penguin. Demon penguin. Oh my gosh. Is that a penguin? An evil penguin? Whoa. Haha. Guess that's the rule of these cave lakes. I don't think we're getting out of here without a fight. Alright, big penguin boy. And you got a posse too. Cool, cool. Alright, let's take a peek at you. King Penguin, Lord of the Lake Cavern, emits an intense shock when it can paralyze an enemy. Lovely. I didn't save. Oh no. I didn't save. I'm gonna kill. I'm so dumb. Okay, I keep forgetting to check. Okay, so fire. Fire I need to use against it. Fire. I can do that. Oh, here it comes. Ow. Okay, what do you do? Oh, she's got the Hellgate. Oh, no, fire. What am I doing? Fire. Stop picking on him. Here come the spells. Oh, it did like nothing. Ooh. Okay, well we got everyone with this round of it. That's good. Estelle, hit him with what you got. Yes, yes. Feed the storm. I was gonna take 3 of those. Dang, that didn't even do that much. That's distressing. Gosh darn it. Forgot the stupid gas. Yeah, that'll be good. Chop fetch V. Comet, huh? Got one down. Two down. Besides Pig Penguin Boy, those were the scarier ones, so. Oh, crap. Maybe not. Oh! Oh, no. Do I have an item that cures confusion? Yeah. It'd be nice if I had one that was specifically confusion. Pasta. Give her the pasta! Oh, you learned the recipe for it. Oh no. Whew. Okay, good. Good. No, you stop that! Right. Let's see, what are your healths looking like, huh? Pretty solid. There! Good job. Now you. That didn't do anything. Oh, I shouldn't have been in a row like that. Ishka. Oh crap, I just realized he gets another turn. Don't. Okay, he went up there. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, what cures paralysis? There you go. Heals. Estelle, you're gonna have to eat something. He's just gonna zap us all again, though.
We're good to go.
Ow. No, leave my people alone. Thank you. Can I rotate the screen? Oh yeah, I can. That's helpful. Oh, you know what? No. Duh, I got him in a row. Perfect. Did he still live though? Okay, thank goodness he's dead. Okay. Now. Now all the other, anything that's not fire is gonna not do that great. Wind's okay, but it's not great. That didn't do much though, it resisted that. Alright, it's halfway down. We're getting there. Put up the walls. This darn bird's gotta go down. God, that does nothing. Gosh darn it, you went for the one that's not defended. That was pretty good. I think it cost a lot of EP, but it was pretty solid. Good, good, good. Good. Guards working at walls, working amend at magic. Come on. Come on. See, that's pretty solid damage right there. Is that because it's not elemental based? Interesting. Smite him! Get him. This effect looks really cool. Yeah, we got this. We got this. Oh, are you serious? He's healing! Can't have that. Oh, we gotta kill him. That looks really awesome. Gone ornery. It's gonna do a massive spell. We can't hope to get away from it, but that's okay. We don't need to. Oh, that did nothing. Dang it. Good. Now we've all been walled up. Now whatever it throws at us, we should be able to avoid. Alright, here it comes. Sonic Boom! Beautiful. It's healing again! Take it out! We're no longer playing games. That did nothing! Dang it. Gee, that defense up is probably what's doing it. Ooh, that was nice. Got the critical there. Come on, come on. Let me finish it first. Let me finish it. It's a lot more for a group effect, but maybe we can do enough damage here. Come on! Yes! Tina for the win. Stupid penguin.
We did it!
Aw, she's so cute. Nice. Black Fang. Sure. You can go to tactics to change it. That's good. Sweet. I've seen everything. Stupid evil penguin. It was kind of cute, but still a little scary. Guess we drove it off. We shouldn't waste any more time, though. Let's go before it decides to come back. Yes, that would probably be best. The boss is supposed to go to the church in town, right? Yep, let's hurry. Alright, now, the real challenge. Getting back. I found my way here. But the way these tunnels are made, it's gonna be challenging. So let's see how I do. Yes! I am a genius! That took 10 seconds. Oh, after stumbling through those caves twice, you'd think it makes sense I would know them, but I could still be proud of myself. Father, we have it. Father, we got the Zemurian moss.
You have it. I'm impressed you were able to get it so quickly.
Can you use this to make the medicine?
Yes, of course. I need to mix it in the back. Come with me, if you'd please. The blue and gold consecrated by Septium, the source of all things, abides here. O great goddess, we call upon your will to shape and purify with the power distilled within. It is ready. Here, take this. Receipt of Ever Sovereign Serum.
What a pretty color. You drink this?
Yes. Mind you, it will not destroy the poison, it will only boost the patient's immune system, so that it may deal with the toxic agents itself. How very Eastern. Yes, it does share some of its origin with the more esoteric cures of the East. Go, take it to your friend.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Father.
Yes. Let's go. I'm curious to know more about this church. Like, is there... Like it's pretty impressive that they have that knowledge, but is it just science clothed in, like, ritual, or was the prayer actually important in that process? It's hard to tell.
We're back, Doctor.
How'd it go?
The priest gave us the medicine.
Really? I knew he wouldn't let us down. Handed over Aver Sovereign Serum. I see. This will stimulate his natural immune response. It's worth a shot. Now to get him to drink it. Dr. Merriam used an oral syringe to administer the medicine to Agate.
Adios, please. Whoa, why is he screaming like that?
It's okay. I think he's gonna be fine.
What?
The medicine's beginning to take effect. It hurts, and it's rough on the system, but he'll recover.
Exactly. It should take him out of any immediate danger from the neurotoxin. Okay. But he's in so much pain.
Yes, and he will be for the better part of a day. But he'll be alright. He's gonna pull through and make a full recovery. So Agate's life was saved. Late into the night, Estelle and the others slept in shifts to watch over him.
Oh. Huh, that's strange. Now, where'd that spare towel? Aha!
Interesting. They're really playing this up, aren't they?
Agate, he's sweating like crazy. I need to dry him off. Agate, are you awake? I bring you some water.
Mischa? Thank the goddess. There you are. I'm right here. Don't be scared. Just... Oh.
Agate?
Tita put a hand to Agate's forehead, confirming his fever. She wiped his brow and laid a cool towel upon him. Gradually, the pain left his face, and his breathing grew less ragged. Soon, all was quiet and calm, and he drifted off to a peaceful slumber.
Thank goodness. But who's Mischa?
Wonder if he had a daughter. That could explain why he was really protective of her. I am truly sorry to have to bid you farewell.
Hey, it's okay. We really appreciate all your help.
Are you taking the ship direct to the Groundsel? Yes, there's much I must do. If I weren't expected there, I would gladly remain to do my part to help resolve the kidnapping incident. Forgive me, little one.
Don't be silly. You've done a lot for us. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you saying so.
The express flight to Ransel aboard the Cecilia will be departing shortly. All passengers, please go to the departure gates.
Oh, that's my time for make my exit. I'm sure we'll see you again very soon. As we're heading to Gransel shortly, I'm sure. Take care. Hopefully we'll meet again, fate willing.
You betcha. Oh, how long you gonna be in Liberl?
I couldn't say for certain. Probably till the end of the Queen's birthday celebration.
Maybe we'll see you there.
Until then, take care. Same to you. These airships are just so fun. Look at this, like how much fun they had designing them. Now then, the guild first? Maybe they've learned something about the airship from before.
Yeah, they might have some intel on the real armed forces. What are you going to do, Tita? I think I'm gonna look after Agate. Since he hasn't woke up yet, I don't think he should be left alone. Tita? That's fine. Let's take care of finding the professor. I'm sorry. All I ever do is cause trouble for you. Would you listen to this kid? Where's that old spirit? Buck up, sweetie. We'll sort this out.
I think it's a great idea for you to stay with him until he wakes up. We trust you to take care of him.
Okay.
I think she's building quite a crush there.
That's one brave kid. She's so sweet. I'm kind of surprised that she cares so much about a guy with absolutely no manners, though.
Well, come to think of it, you two are pretty similar to each other.
Huh? I have nothing in common with that jerk.
How about your tendency to go off half-cocked or just soft-hearted as you are? He talks like a big jerk, but he's always trying to protect others. I think that Tita sees that.
Well, I can't really argue with that. Fine, let's go see what's up at the guild. Until Agate's up and about again, we got plenty we can investigate.
That sounds fine. Sweet. Is that gonna be part 2 here? Alright, to the library! Maybe they'll actually be able to accept us now. Yes, here.
Oh, have you made some progress? Yep, you betcha. We brought you your book.
Please take a look to be certain. Hand over the Arab woodpecker. Quest temp librarian plus completed.
Oh my. This is indeed the right book. Thank you for finding it.
Haha, like it was never any doubt.
To be honest, I thought it was going to be a wild goose chase. I'm quite impressed that you managed to find it. Now I know I can leave the rest of the work in your hands.
Wait, the rest?
Right, wait, what? Wait, the rest of the work?
There's more?
Traditionally, the researchers would hide 3 books. This leaves us with 2 still yet to be found. Did I not tell you?
This is most definitely the first I've heard of it.
How odd. But you're already aboard the ship, so to speak. So I hope I can count on your full support until the end.
Well, I guess so, but you mean we have to deal with another unhinged person's idea of a game?
Speaking of which, it's just like back in Ruan.
No need to worry. The next book's hints, no words.
Really?
The proof is in the pudding, as the saying goes. See for yourself.
What the fetch? Alright, looks like a die, then X marks the spot. Perhaps 4 pillars, and something in the center? Have we seen something like that in the fields, maybe? You know, there was that weird forest glen that had some rock pillars. Maybe that's it.
She's so pissed. You've got to be kidding me.
No comments or anything?
The name of the book in question is Hers That's Adventure 2.
Hers That's Adventure 2. Got it.
Only the first part remains in the library, so it gets quite frustrating having to listen to patrons ask about the sequel constantly. Well, I hope this gets you fired up to find it.
Lovely. Another brain teaser to figure out.
I take back what I said about the stupid poetry. I'd much prefer to do either that. Oh well, either way, we still be stuck trying to puzzle it out.
Well, best of luck. I'll be waiting here as always.
Alright, we'll be off then.
We'll be back with the book before you know it.
I can't remember if I read that book or not. Alright, the Airboat Woodpecker. Okay, this was it.
So yeah, I don't think we read this one. So, a bird of legend. The Arabe scenic route is a road lined with beautiful groves of slender trees on each side. It's a cobbled path. A notable side frequently appeared. Fetch. I gotta slow down. A notable site frequently appearing in ancient royal court literature. It is thought by researchers that the scenery which knights once laid eyes on was far more spectacular than that which is seen today. Sadly, those vivid colors appearing in days of yore have long since been lost. Those awe-inspiring hues of which are written in poem and song refer to the plumage of a single bird. Its name, the Arabe woodpecker. Presently, it's exceptionally rare to catch a glimpse of this bizarre azure bird. In fact, its extinction has been suggested on more than a few occasions. In interesting light, traditional songs sung by knights of times past make frequent mention of these birds being a common sight. It undoubtedly seems as though there used to exist an incomparably large population of these woodpeckers in contrast with their meager numbers in recent times. This brings us to the pivotal question of what fate exactly befell these birds over the course of the last several hundred years. A peculiar mode of life. Although the Arabe woodpecker is in fact a woodpecker, it does not peck holes in the trunks of trees. The reason being, it cannot. Okay. In general, woodpeckers use their beaks to bore holes into the boles of trees for nesting. But the Arabe woodpecker, this is an impossible task. Consequently, they figured out another way to deal with this problem. Even if they do not bore the hole themselves, there are many other nesting holes for them to choose from. That's right, they will usurp a nesting hole made by another species of woodpecker. The Arabe woodpecker, with a beak perfectly for catching insects, its clever ploy of stealing a fellow's nesting hole, was believed to have the traits that would allow it to prosper indefinitely. Invasion by an invasive species. A sudden change occurred when a new, larger species of woodpecker came to live in the forests inhabited by the Arabe woodpecker. This large species has managed to migrate by way of boat from a distant native land. As nautical technology developed, a trade began to flourish. The comings and goings of marine vessels became increasingly dynamic. However, those which traveled these boats and ships were not always human. Blending in with various freight and cargo, these creatures from other lands and managed to come ashore one after another. With the introduction of the larger species of woodpecker, these smaller species, which once endemic to Liberl, gradually left the Arabe forest in search of new habitats. Life also became problematic for the Arabe woodpecker as its nesting hole size differed greatly from the outsiders. Yet despite these drawbacks, it continued to stay in the forest. With the other small species of its habitat being driven out, finding another woodpecker's nesting hole became increasingly difficult. If a nesting hole could not be found, the Arabe woodpecker, of course, would not reproduce either. Thus, chances for reproduction among its kind gradually decreased, and a long era of decline set in among them. It's funny because this is very a close place to my heart. So I've mentioned before, I'm a big fan of snakes. I've always thought snakes were really fascinating creatures ever since I was a kid. I currently have a few ball pythons that I've been able to, adopt into my family. That's been really fun to have. They're just social and they're cuddly and they're just so sweet and just really fascinating creatures. But it pains me because I do like snakes of all kinds. I'd like to get different kinds of snakes eventually, but because of that enjoyment of snakes that happens in the past, and then neglect or storms or just accidents causes a bit of an issue. In Florida, they're having a crisis in the Everglades because the swampy, warm temperature is actually a pretty conducive environment for large boas and anacondas. And they are actually thriving because there aren't really any natural predators to take them out of circulation. So they've been devouring all the natural flora and fauna. Well, fauna because they don't eat plants. Devouring all the natural fauna in the area and have been growing enormous and also just reproducing like mad. And so they actually have to hunt them down, and they pay people to hunt them down, which is really, really sad because they're beautiful creatures, but they shouldn't be there. Invasive species are really damaging to ecosystems, and they are being exceptionally damaging. There are plenty of other species that have transferred via human or accident or human accident from place to place and disrupted the ecology of the area. It's unfortunately fairly common, and we as a people, because we were so global, exacerbate that problem. All right. Anyway, cleverness and their eventual downfall. The Arabe woodpecker. I keep saying it differently every time. The Arabe woodpecker, with its clever methodology of using in nesting holes of others, enjoyed a brief period of prosperity. However, having abandoned their ability to bore holes for themselves some millennia before they left them unable to cope with the abrupt changes in their environment. On the other hand, those of other species of woodpeckers, despite having been displaced by invasive species countless times, have continued to prosper today, as they have in times past. There are many things which we ourselves can learn from these tiny birds, so if you should happen to see one of these azure rarities flying amongst the trees in the grove-bordered avenue of the Arab scenic route, please remember the struggle they have been forced to endure. Well, it is a good thing. It's about like adapting and being able to overcome challenges rather than like simply like living off of others.
Morning, Kilika.
Good morning.
And to you both. Has Zin already left?
Yes, he took an airliner to Gransel some time ago.
I wish you could have come to see him off. Speaking of which, do you two know each other somehow?
A bit. Quite some time ago. But that's beside the point. Have you noticed the strange current in the air? The winds are shifting.
Hey, no changing the subject. Wait, what are you talking about the weather, aren't we?
Have you learned something about that airship?
Not a thing. But I believe this disquieting atmosphere is related to the Royal Army mobilizing. For one thing, I've sent a message to the Army headquarters at Lestian Fortress, but there's been no response. Secondly, all mandatory inspections throughout the kingdom have been lifted.
What? What's that all about? This isn't about a turf war like they did the Sky Bandits, is it?
No, it would be strange for them to call off inspections if that were the case. If they had caught the culprits themselves, surely they would have sent word around. Maybe there is something in the air.
Incidentally, I've not been able to contact the intelligence division at Lestian Fortress either. It is possible the Royal Army has some sort of internal issue going on.
Some sort of... Oh, wait! The stuff that Dorothy shot!
The pictures those guys in black wearing the Royal Guard uniforms.
Someone mentioned my name?
It's like she knows.
Dorothy!
Speak of the devil, and yea verily.
Wow, what an ordeal. I finally got in touch with my editor's office and Nail happened to be there. When I told him about giving up my photo quartz to the army, he just about blew his stack. It's so unfair.
Which means they haven't given it back yet?
Right, I mean, how rude is that? And after I'd gone to the trouble of going to Lestian Fortress to get it back too.
Wow, you got some fire to you.
Well, I guess I have to have one redeeming trait, right? Anyway, I didn't have any other option but to take a picture of the front of the paper. It does make for a great shot though. The lights up all pretty at night.
You took a pretty picture of the fort.
Not to mention you're supposed to obtain permission to photograph any part of a military installation.
Oh, come on. It's not like it's that big a deal. Here, take a look. I just developed it.
Dorothy placed the photo on the counter. Let me guess. It's gonna be on fire. Oh, hey, airship. Hey, that is a pretty nice shot. So this is Lestian Fortress. Here's the thing though. Is that the airship that we saw at the top of the tower? Because if that is, it implies they are involved in the military somehow.
Wow, Dorothy, you really got a good eye for this. Wait a sec.
What's wrong, Estelle?
It might be just my imagination, but do you see anything there at the top right?
What? You're right.
It's not very clear, but there's definitely a small shadow there. Whew, you got a sharp eye, Estelle. I mean, I took the picture and I didn't even notice that.
Well, what can I say? It's just a silhouette. Maybe it's an army ship?
No, that's no guard ship. That's the small airship from before.
Before? It's the same silhouette as the ship that the professor was taken away in.
Right.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Why would that ship be anywhere near here? This is the Royal Army installation, isn't it?
Calm down, Estelle. There are plenty of possibilities to consider before we go jump into conclusions. Maybe we should go straight to Lestian Fortress and ask what this is about.
What?
I see. You intend to put it to them directly, provoke a response perhaps?
Do you think that would be a bad idea?
Not at all. You have my authorization. This has the potential to be a huge disaster. Whatever might be going on there, this matter must be handled delicately.
You're starting to scare me, Kilika. But you're probably right. We have to handle this very carefully.
Hey, Dorothy, can we have a copy of this picture? Sure. After all, you guys have done a lot for me.
Thanks. I owe you one.
Receive Dorothy's photograph.
If you intend to go to Lestian Fortress, you'll need to leave via the east entrance and take the Ritter Roadway. When you reach the three-way fork in the road, stay on the northern fork and you'll eventually wind up in front of the fort's main gate. Please use the utmost caution.
Roger that.
Acknowledged. Fetch me. I don't like this. Okay, I already heard what you said there. Alright, Ritter Road Monster 2. Precious monster known as the Bloody Saber has been spotted on the Ritter roadway. Racers from the branch are requested to deal with the threat immediately. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing now, but next week we're going to save that for next time. So, here's what I'm thinking. We're going to do the book mission first, because I'm guessing I can try and find that silhouette of like 4 pillars and a spot in the middle. Like I said, there's a particular field that's kind of like tucked away in its own little lodestone that I think had like rock, like stone towers, and I couldn't find anything that was supposed to be going on there. So I bet you that's my first guess. Other than that, I'll just have to kind of keep my eyes open, look around. Maybe something in the big field is going to be left like that. I also want to go take care of that monster, come back and probably turn those in before I do the next mission, because I guarantee you whatever's going down in the fortress is going to be probably pretty gnarly, because I'm guessing it's not going to be fun. Well, going to be impactful and scary and crazy, especially because it's really starting to imply that the military itself might be involved in all this. And if they are, specifically, what if it's the intelligence division? Remember, we gave them the information from the receptacle, and now maybe they're making a move because they realize that enough people on the outside in the Bracers Guild might be able to put 2 and 2 together. So they're making a mobilization, some kind of internal coup. Maybe not a full coup yet, but they're like staging to get set up for one. And if that's true, that's really disturbing. Because why would they want to stage a coup when they already have so much influence? What could they gain from doing this? Troubling indeed. But otherwise, a really impactful story, really fun to see. Love the character development, love the stories as they grow. Of course, it's always just been a joy in every sense of the word. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out. But we'll get to more of that excitement next week. You guys mentioned last time that the pedal hits the metal real quick with the story ramping, and I think you're right. Like, it's already feeling pretty, like, panicky, like, intense. So I'm looking forward to playing forward and seeing how this all plays out. But looks like we got a little bit more time in Zeiss yet. So, thank you all for joining me next week for some more adventures. So until next video, watching me, have seen me next. I'll see you there.